This is Nikki. Nikki, how are you?
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited.
Thank you for waiting. And so, have the stories already impacted you?
Oh my God, every Monday. I mean, this is the best time of the week because I always tell my team, the more stories you hear, the more ammunition you have for that person that comes at you with excuses of why they can't do this. Because you can say, no, I know somebody who did, So I love Mondays.
All right, so Nikki, tell everybody who you are and where you're from.
Okay, I am Nikki Bowles. I live in a very teeny tiny town in Tennessee called Jamestown. I've been in since December of 2012.
All right, so how did you find It Works?
Actually from a girl that had just recently moved to town and came to our church, and she had a few of my friends circled around her, and she was talking about the wraps, and she walked away, and I told them that there was no way that this product worked and that she was crazy, and then they turned around and told me that they had just wrapped like that week, and all of them had results, and they started showing me pictures, and I was just blown away, and I couldn't deny that those were my friends' tummies, and I really wanted to try it, but we were secretly going into foreclosure. Nobody really knew how bad off our financial situation was. They just knew that we didn't have any money. We had actually lost 2 vehicles earlier that year, and so I friended her on Facebook and kind of just watched her for a little while, and then I watched her post that she was going to the grocery store and had wraps, and I watched a lot of people in this little town that I knew say they were going to meet her there and try the product and buy it from her, and 2 hours later she had made $200 in wrap cash, and I'm so nervous. I needed $350 to keep my house from going into foreclosure just to pay some fees, and I needed it in the next few weeks. So I immediately messaged her on Facebook and started battling her with some really hard questions. And we've done network marketing before and failed miserably and never made a dime. And so I was asking her if I never got anybody to join my team, would I still make money? And she assured me that I would. And then I basically told her I didn't have any money to start and how could I do this? And we came up with a plan for me to pre-sell my kit. So that's what we did. And within 45 minutes, I had found 4 people that wanted to wrap. And we bought my kit with their money.
Wow. And when we set our mind to it, we can do anything, can't we?
Absolutely. It really showed me. I'm a mom of 3, and I homeschool my 2 oldest kids, and it was a really hard time in our life, and I basically chalked it up that we were going to forever be on food stamps, and we were going to constantly struggle. My husband was a subcontractor and gone through the entire week, so basically I was a single mom of 3 through the week and only had my husband on the weekends. And, when you live in one of the poorest counties in your state and everybody you know is on food stamps and welfare, you basically just assume that that's going to be the rest of your life, and you start living this poor man's mind mentality. And I really realized once I pre-sold that kit, I said, okay, well, I have no more product. I just pre-sold the 4 wraps, so now what do I do? And she said, start booking parties. And I just decided to start pre-selling all those parties. And before my kit ever reached my house, I had 5 parties pre-sold and paid for, and wraps on the way. I had my 4 customers and my 120 and free product, which I used for 2 boxes of wraps, and my 2 wrap rewards, which I cashed in. So I had my $350 that I needed within a week and a half.
Well, all right, so a lot of people listening will say, how in the heck did you pre-sell 5 wrap parties?
I literally...
Give us a little bit of verbiage.
Okay, so for those people that know me and my team knows that I used to budget $2 a week to go to church just for gas, and I would park on the hill just so my car would start and I could take my kids home. And my son played local team baseball, and everybody would go for ice cream and stuff afterwards, and we were always the family that never could because we couldn't afford it. We never did the movies, and the movies in our town was $2 at the time per person, but we never could afford to do that. So I knew that I could not let my kids grow up, leaning on the government or, struggling to make ends meet. So I literally got on Facebook because I couldn't go around and blitz. I didn't have the gas money to do that. I literally got on Facebook and I just started showing my friends pictures because at this point I still hadn't tried the product. And I started showing my friends pictures privately with their permission, and people were just like, I want to try it, I want to try it. And anybody that lives in a small town knows that your neighbor knows your business before you do. And they started to talk really fast. And they're like, you got to try this product, it's crazy. And I was like, just invite some girlfriends over, and it's $25. And just like with any other network marketing company out there, you always pay for your product and then get it in a week or two. So I didn't treat this business any differently. I didn't treat my wraps any differently. So I would book their parties 2 weeks out and collect their money a week ahead of time. And sometimes I would even do like a pre-sale discount. So if they would buy their product or buy their wrap before the party, I would even do $20 sometimes just to, just so I could pay the bills, because Wrap Cash was paying all of our bills. But I would collect their money, order the wraps, and then at the party their wraps would be there. But that also helped me get 100% close at all of my parties because they had already paid for that wrap. So when I got to the party, their bank account was freed up to become a customer with me. And it was just one party after another. My husband hated this business when I started. He told me not to ever spend a penny of his income that, he was bringing home on it. And he told me if I did that I had to quit. So I'm a red and I like a good challenge. So I told him I was never going to spend a dime of his money. And to this day, we never spent any outside money on It Works. Wrap Cash always paid for everything. It paid for the parties. It paid for my auto ships. It paid for everything. And by doing that, I was making a 4-figure income 3 months in, and that's all thanks to my ambassador, who's Melody McFarland, because a month into my business, she helped me find a way to get to conference in 2013. And just sitting in that room, I cried the entire time hearing different people that are now some of my dearest friends in the business tell their stories of getting off food stamps or looking and seeing that if their porch light was on, they knew their electricity was still on. And I remember those days. I remember the waterman coming to my house to shut off my water. And all I needed was $25, and this was 2 months before I joined. And if I would have just known about It Works, one wrap sale would have saved my water. And I had to beg him to give me 2 more days. So I didn't want my kids growing up like that. And wow. I was so determined to make this work that 6 months in, I retired my husband from his job. We were making triple what he was bringing in. In fact, him being a subcontractor, we were paying more out than he was making. So once we retired him, I was like, oh gosh, this is it. We got to make this work. So I worked It Works even harder, and 95% of my business has been online, off of social media, and my team is just so amazing to see them come in and be able to retire their husbands and work so hard. I mean, I'm inspired by them, and it's been an amazing journey, and I remember sitting there thinking at a conference in 2013, I'll be a top 100 money earner. I'll be a presidential diamond. I will be an ambassador. I remember sitting there and I remember telling Melody, I say I'm an ambassador and I have like the full peace of God that just falls on top of me. So it's not a matter of if, it's just when.
You have an incredible story. Thank you so much. Just absolutely beautiful. I so enjoyed listening to this, and congratulations for having the guts just to get out there and have enough belief in yourself to do no matter what, so your family could have food, so they could have water, so you could have gas, so you could have everything that your family needs, and you're going to give them for the rest of their lives everything that they need. Congratulations.
Thank you so much. I mean, it's taught my kids to dream again. In fact, we have so many family members in the business now that are, doubles and diamonds, and we just moved back from Tennessee. We lived in Florida for a year. It Works allowed us to try our dream down there, and, we wanted to come home. And my daughter, as soon as my mother-in-law went diamond a couple months ago, my daughter was like, oh, my gosh, Granny, we have to go celebrate and go shopping. She just knows now that it's their dreaming too. I mean, they're about to take their second Disney trip this year, and you know, it's just something that, I mean, I don't think I've been on 10 vacations in my whole life, and we've been on 10 already this year with It Works events and just taking the family places. It's been an incredible ride, and I can never tell you and Mark thank you enough for allowing so many of us to just change our lives.
Oh, thank you, Nikki. Thank you so much for being on tonight, and congratulations to all of you. Carrie, thank you. Lacey, both our Courtneys, Aaron, Andrea, and, of course, Nikki. Thank you all so much.